Welcome to today's webinar, and we're going to be looking at cracking the code. We're going to talk about AI search and local SEO ecosystems for you as a local insurance agent, how to win trust, visibility, and clicks when it's actually the AI algorithms who are now deciding who gets seen. And I want to preface this with actually a very interesting piece for you. There was an interview at the end of March with Google CEO talking about the future of search, and that in the days ahead, search really is not even going to be for human consumption as much as it's going to be for AI agents who are then going to take that information back to humans to help them accomplish tasks. It's a very interesting interview. It's something you may want to look up. In over an hour's worth of conversation, he actually only mentioned websites twice, and he mentioned them as a data layer for AI agents. So very insightful. And so today I'm going to be breaking down for you something that most of you are feeling but very few actually understand. We all know that search has changed. You're seeing that, you're feeling the effects of it. It's not gradually, it is structurally. AI is deciding who gets seen, it is deciding who gets trusted, and ultimately who gets the phone call. And so, what we're going to talk about today is about helping you understand, first and foremost, how that system works and how to position your agency inside of that system so you have the greatest advantage, the greatest opportunity for success. Again, we want to help you win trust, win visibility, win clicks so that the AI algorithm is deciding that you get seen and not your competitor. So, with that, let's go ahead and dive in. The search paradigm has fundamentally not just shifted, but it has fractured and rebuilt itself. And this is not just a shift in the way the technology works, but it is a mindset shift. And it's a mindset shift that you have to get your mind around and you have to embrace because search hasn't just evolved, it has been rebuilt. And so we have moved from a search process of searching and comparing, if you will, where we scroll and we look at 10 blue links and we compare those manually to where we ask and we receive answers. So we ask complex questions and we receive instant summarized recommendations. So Google used to be a directory and an index, but now it is a synthesizer and gatekeeper. And what happens is the winning metric once upon a time was keyword density and manual clicks, but now the winning metric is trust signals, authority, and AI reasoning. And here's the real key line for you to grab a hold of. AI now filters options before the click. Let me say that again. AI is now filtering the options before the click. So if the algorithm doesn't trust you, the client will never even see you. Let me say that again. If the algorithm doesn't trust you, the client will never even see you. So AI is now filtering options prior to that click. You need to remember that. That's going to be critical. So that brings up this issue of algorithmic trust or lack of algorithmic trust. Because if there's a lack of algorithmic trust, that creates an invisibility problem. It creates total market invisibility. Excuse me. In the AI era, lack of trust doesn't equate to lower rankings, it equates to total invisibility because there's now a filtering layer or a filtering wall between you and your prospect. And the problem is, most insurance agents don't realize that that wall even exists. And so, this is why this statistic matters. And I want you to understand this very clearly. Because of this AI gatekeeper, 73% of the prospects who are in the market for insurance products and services are choosing someone else before ever contacting you for this one reason and one reason only. Because if you are not visible and you are not dominating AI overviews, the map pack, and the local reviews ecosystem because of the AI gatekeeper, you have not made the short list. And because you've not made the short list, you are now invisible. And because you are invisible, you don't even exist. And so they simply choose someone else. You're not even an option. And what happens is the algorithm acts like a ruthless filter. And so the problem is these 73% of prospects who are choosing someone else are not choosing someone else because they're a better option or because you're worse. They're choosing someone else because you actually were never even in the conversation. You simply didn't make the short list because you didn't pass the filtering wall that the AI gatekeeper had put in place. You didn't make the short list. And so the algorithm acts as this ruthless filter. It does not present the prospect with all available options. What it does is it presents what it considers to be the safest options. And so being a good agent is no longer enough if the AI is unable to read and verify the trust signals that allow you to get past its gatekeeping priorities. I hope you understand that. It is now the gatekeeper, it is the filtering system in the search process. So let's get a little technical here, how AI actually evaluates a search query. So when you go and make a search in today's AI-driven search environment, what actually happens? Well, what actually happens is AI is going to break that query down into a dozen invisible sub-investigations. So, for example, when someone searches best home insurance agent near me, AI doesn't just pull a list. It runs multiple invisible evaluations at once. So it's asking questions like who is the closest, who has the best recent sentiment, who actually specializes, who has strong engagement, is their data consistent? And this is critical. You are no longer being ranked on one set of criteria. You're being evaluated across an entire ecosystem. So, just like we've got here on the slide, best home insurance agent near me with good reviews. That's the subquery. The AI algorithm is now going to expand that. Who is physically closest? So that's real time spatial data. Who has the best recent sentiment? That's an analysis of reviews. Who actually specializes in home policies? It's looking at content depth. Who has the highest engagement? It's evaluating behavioral signals. Is their data consistent everywhere? Trust verification. See, what Google's Gemini is doing is it's combining real time data, ranking systems, and AI reasoning simultaneously to instantly answer multi step questions. Now, the client acquisition funnel has this new automatic gatekeeper. So the funnel has changed drastically from what you once knew. And this is the shift that is radically changing everything in the way that prospects are finding you and doing business with you. So the old path was linear. Person did a search, they clicked on a link, that click took them to a place where they could compare, and then they made a call. Well, the new algorithmic funnel looks like this. They do a search, the AI filters that search, the AI recommends, the AI creates a short list, and a call gets placed. So your job has changed. Your job as an agency owner is you are no longer trying to convince the client to call you. And this is a mindset shift. Your job is now to be the agent that AI recommends to the client. It's a real change in the way you think. It's no longer trying to convince the client. It is now becoming the agent that produces enough proof in the ecosystem that the AI knows to recommend you to that client. It's displaying and demonstrating experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Those have always been Google's ranking criteria, but now you have to convince the AI that you have those criteria in place, and you have to do that across the broad spectrum of the online ecosystem. So let's talk about the five ranking signals that matter because these are the five ranking signals that dictate AI search visibility. And they're the five ranking signals that truly matter right now. And let me say this to you. These are not opinions. This is how the system works. We've studied this, we've examined it, we've reverse engineered it, we've listened to what Google is saying. We know this is the way the system is working. Number one, your Google business profile. You cannot ignore this. It is not a storefront, it is not a display window. It is critical. It is a dominant piece of the equation. You've got to pay attention to your categories. Are they correct? Your services, the Q&A, weekly photos and posts. This is your primary ranking asset locally. You cannot afford to ignore it. You cannot afford to sleep on it. They are updating it. They are adding new functionality daily. It is now pulling in your social media channels. You've got to pay attention to it. You've got to look at your reviews. Reviews are your trust currency. This is the number two most important piece of the equation. The volume of reviews, the frequency of reviews, the specific contextual keywords. Are those reviews mentioning the services that you provide? Are they mentioning the exact types of experiences people are having with you and your team? Then there is your content, the local authority content, blogs, videos, and I can't stress videos enough, short form videos, 60 seconds or less, FAQs answering real local scenarios, the engagement behavior, click through rates, time on site, map interactions, user engagement dictates AI boosting or suppression. Are people interacting and engaging with your content, with your website, with your Google business profile? Are you giving people what they want? Then there's the ecosystem consistency. Is there perfect alignment across the website, the GBP, your social media, your reviews, things like do you have the same name, address, and phone number everywhere? Are you consistent in your messaging? Is your authority messaging consistent everywhere? Consistency matters. It is a trust factor. You've got to be consistent across the ecosystem. Now, here's something you may not realize, you may have not considered. You've got to understand this. Reviews are no longer just social proof, but they are training data for the AI. Let me say that again. Reviews are no longer just social proof, they are actually training data for the AI. So let's break down this thought a little bit. This is where you, as an agent, may be underestimating the shift that's happening. Most agents are. Reviews are no longer just about your reputation. They are providing training because AI is literally learning how to describe and categorize your agency based on what your clients are saying about you. Let me say that again. AI is literally learning how to describe and categorize your agency based on what your clients are saying about you. So look at the difference. Great service as a review is absolutely useless. Help me switch home and auto and save $600? That's powerful. The second one tells AI what you sell, what you're good at, and why someone should choose you. So let's talk about the anatomy of an AI optimized review. We'll take that first one, that weak one, great service. It's a weak signal and it has zero contextual value. But the strong example, help me switch my home and auto, identifies a service combination and a product specialty. And save me $600, identifies a financial benefit and a positive sentiment. The specific words that your clients use in their reviews are going to directly train the AI on how to categorize, describe, and recommend your agency. This is critical. Now, here's something that I really want to drive home to you. AI ignores generalists and it heavily favors highly specific local authorities. AI loves clarity. Generic agents send very weak signals. Specific agents send very strong signals. And here's the shift. You don't win by doing more. You win by being more defined. So let's break this down. The generic agent. We offer home, auto, life, a local insurance agency. Better positioning looks like this, the category of one. Houston home insurance specialist for new homeowners under 40. The generic agent, reactive sales pitches. The category of one agent, proactive educator answering real niche client questions. When it comes to their infrastructure, the generic agent relies on effort and manual hustle. The category of one agent relies on automated, system driven AI ecosystems. There's a difference between the two. Be a category of one type agent. Here's the insight for you. Specificity is the loudest signal you can send to an algorithm. Be a specialist. Be specific. Now, isolated tactics fail, but algorithmic trust requires the compounding of a flywheel. So let's talk about developing an authority flywheel around you and your agency. This is where everything really comes together and connects. You don't win by using isolated tactics. You actually win with momentum. Content builds authority, reviews reinforce trust, GBP distributes visibility, AI amplifies the strongest signals. This becomes your flywheel. And once it's moving, it just continues to compound. It creates a residual effect. So your content builds your topical authority. Your reviews reinforce and verify that authority with human trust. Your Google business profile distributes this verified visibility to your local market, and AI amplifies the top signals and drives more traffic back into your system. So every piece of content, every review, and every profile update feeds the next step in the cycle. The algorithm rewards the momentum. So you want to keep this flywheel in continual motion. The motion builds momentum. This is critical. Here at Agent Branding and Marketing, you hear us talk about the ecosystem constantly. We're not a one-off agency because tactics don't win. They never have. Interconnected ecosystems do. That's why we are a strategy-driven, AI-centric ecosystem agency that focuses on local market dominance for insurance agents. That's what has to happen for you to win in today's world. And so the reason most marketing fails today is because it is siloed. Agents treat everything separately. SEO, ads, reviews, content, but AI doesn't see things in silos. It doesn't see things in channels. It sees signals. You cannot hack a system that reads the entire internet. It looks at everything in whole and holistically. You have to build a unified ecosystem that tells one clear story all the way through. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is why we're trusted. So the input is raw agency data and client interactions, and that's through SEO and content, through your review strategy, through your AI optimization, which is called AEO, through your Google business profile optimization, through your paid ads traffic. And the output is an undeniable AI verified category of one unified local presence. The engine is the ABM ecosystem model, where we align all of the digital touch points. They all work in synergy. Because again, you cannot hack an algorithm that reads the entire internet. You have to build a unified digital ecosystem that is broadcasting a single, undeniable truth about your topical authority, painting you as the expert in your field, in your market, everywhere you go. You have to become inescapable and omnipresent across all channels. That's the way the ecosystem works. And we've moved from what has been known as search engine optimization to a world of answer engine optimization. Because the way the world is working today is we are structuring data for the AI gatekeeper. And to win AI overviews and voice search and zero click results, your content has to be structured in such a way that the algorithm can extract the right information. This is where SEO is going, towards answer engine optimization. And the interview with Google's CEO at the end of March was very insightful. And this is what he talked about is that websites and Google business profiles in the days ahead will become data layers for AI agents who are performing tasks for us as individuals. And this is a very critical understanding of where search is headed. Because you're no longer writing for rankings, you're structuring content so that AI can extract answers. That means direct answers first, FAQ driven content, clean structure, clear hierarchy. And if your content isn't structured, then AI simply can't use it. So I've got a little illustration here for you on the screen. There's your surface level content, the human view that the human appreciates. And then there's your structural level content, your tags, your topic, your alt tags, your schema markup, your subheadings, your FAQ schema, your structured data, your review snippets. There's the direct answers that begin the content with immediate, concise answers before it gets expanded. There's your targeted FAQs, where you build pages specifically around the exact phrasing of actual questions that clients ask. Your structured headers, where you're using a logical hierarchy so AI reasoning models can instantly map out your expertise. What you're doing is you're making it easier for the algorithm to draw in that information so it can present that information logically, but it knows you're the expert. But I want you to think beyond just search and beyond marketing, because here's the other place that a lot of agents are failing, and the agents who want the competitive advantage are already moving in this direction. Scaling your ecosystem also requires that you use AI as your internal execution advantage. And this is where most agents have not even started thinking. See, AI is not just external, it's internal leverage as well. You can use it for strategy decisions, training your team, content creation, CRM automation, and the outcome is higher show rates, better lead quality, lower acquisition cost. This is where operations meet marketing. I've laid out for you here a simple structure that we've been teaching our clients. You, as the agency, start with an AI advisory board where you use AI to model business decisions, review strategy, and analyze marketing gaps. A simple AI advisory board that I've taught some of our clients is a 12-member board made up of some of the greatest thinkers in history and in the modern age. And you use that board to analyze ideas and to brainstorm and to help you refine things within your agency. You use Notebook LM to rapidly take in new ideas and concepts and break them apart, mind map them, expand them, train your team, scale training protocols, generate hyper relevant local content, and deploy it quickly. And then you develop AI agents and automation to deploy AI to automate your CRM follow-ups, your GBP updates, and review requests. And then you take those tasks that are time consuming and take your people away from the best and highest use of their time and turn those into automations. The result is, again, higher show rates, better lead quality, lower acquisition costs, better use of the human time of your team members, and more efficiency within your agency. So I want to give you a 30-day blueprint to establish AI visibility within your agency and to create a baseline for you. This is really where you start and how you do this practically. So step one, and this is week one, complete your GBP, your Google Business Profile optimization, and add 10 plus highly specific, localized, frequently asked questions. Step two, week two, is launch automated review extraction strategy and initiate one local authority blog per week. And so what you're going to do there is work your database. Send out an email that just says, hey, you've been our client. We would love to have a review from you. Here's a link to our Google Business Profile. Would you go out and talk about your experience with us? Talk about the services we provided for you. We would love others to have the same experience you've had with us. Step number three, start adding video content. And then audit and elevate your website trust signals. How can you add more trust to the website? And how can you bring video to play in your ecosystem? Step number four, layer AI into the mix. Bring in some internal AI tools. Look for ways to build efficiency into your systems. Begin tracking your algorithmic engagement and your conversions. Begin your performance tracking. This isn't about doing everything all at once, but it is about building momentum in the right order so that, again, you have the competitive advantage in your market. Now, let's face the reality of what we see happening because there is a shift, not in marketing tactics, but it is a shift in business model. And it's a fundamental shift. You can either choose local dominance or you can choose invisibility because this isn't a marketing shift, it's a business model shift. Local SEO is no longer optional. Authority is always going to beat activity, hands down. Systems will always beat effort, and agents who adapt are going to be the ones who dominate locally. Agents who don't are simply going to disappear. And interconnected systems are going to beat siloed, isolated effort. The agents who adapt to the AI search ecosystem will achieve unprecedented local dominance, and the agents who rely on old legacy methods are simply going to become invisible, and it's going to be as though you don't even exist anymore. So, as we wind this down, I hope I've made one thing clear to you. You cannot guess your way through this shift. You've got to build an AI first, insurance only ecosystem. And if you're going to do that, you're probably going to need help. We're not just a vendor, we are your growth partner in navigating this algorithmic shift. In 2023, when we began to watch Google do this, we began to move accordingly. We began to reverse engineer everything we watched them do. We've been at this step by step the whole time. When I watched the interview with the CEO the other day and I read the transcript, I immediately began deploying our next steps to move in line with that. I've got a white paper available for anybody who is on this webinar or anybody watching the replay. Reach out to us at Agent Branding and Marketing, and I'll be happy to send that to you. It's called The Silence of the Agents, and it is talking about how the shift in search is going to affect you as an insurance agent. I'll be happy to send that to you. Just email me. You can do that at info@agentbrandingandmarketing.com, and I'll send that out to you. The next thing you can do is book a strategy session with us. You can do that at agentbrandingandmarketing.com/schedule. We'll do a comprehensive AI visibility audit, see where you stand. We'll look at gaps in your local authority signals, and we will map the blueprint to making you a category of one. We'll show you how to move forward and how to dominate your local market. I hope you found this presentation helpful. Search is moving quickly. The landscape is rapidly changing, and the way you once did marketing is not going to keep you out in front of your best clients, your best prospects in the days ahead. You've got to adapt, and you've got to adapt quickly. Again, if we can help you do that, schedule with us at agentbrandingandmarketing.com/schedule. You can call us at 888-572-8758. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join me. I hope you found this helpful. We'll be doing another webinar same time next month, and I look forward to talking with you then. Hope you have a great day today.